Okay, coming at you, show number 50, the hottest topics north of the tropics. The JoJo Show, as I said, alluded to earlier, number 50. Gosh, we've been gone a couple of weeks again, and we're back. What else can I say? But there's a lot on the plate again to talk about, and we really appreciate the viewing audience out there that you stuck with us, the few that you are. 50 shows in with a couple of bad edited shows that didn't make it. The law shows, that'll be another segment of our brief history here. We're glad that we'll still be able to come to you unprecedented, uncensored, or whatever, or censored. But I mean, we're here for y'all.
Yeah, if anybody, our show's not being censored, but if anybody knows of anything being censored or censored themselves, let us know.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
get your
out
message
there.
out. We'll get your message out.
It's out there. I think last week we covered again about the COVID, and it's still out there. They're easing all over the United States. They're protesting about it. The president said, hey, let's open it up today. He's leaving it up to the governors, which I think is a good thing, but some of these governors are getting a lot of heat for it. I got them all Dodgers this time. Baseball should be starting up with an 80-game schedule, which will break the monotony. I mean, Korean baseball is not that bad on ESPN. Speaking of ESPN, I didn't want to say it, and I know we got a few minutes, but I'll break through it. I watched that Michael Jordan thing. I think it's almost over next weekend. I watched it last night. That guy was a true champion. What can I say? He worked hard. He needed not much motivation to be the best and to try to win the championship after championship the way he did. He did a lot of things that probably people would have just given up, but not MJ, Jordan. So I watched it last night, and I still have the utmost respect, even though I knew he was voted the top athlete of the second part of the century. The first was Jim Thorpe, as I always allude to there. But anyway, what else, Joe? I mean, it's a beautiful afternoon.
Yeah, I just I would
coming at you.
The most important thing that is being undertaken by the bad guys right now is the assault on your Second Amendment rights. Now, they have to do this, and everybody's doing it. You have to call your congressman. You have to get involved. Okay, now, at least just find out who the guy is that's in your district voting on it. It's, in our district, it's Garrett Graves. In this area that I live in, it's Garrett Graves.
Right.
He's on this gun bill. One of the gun bills that I've been reading about is H.R. 6318. Now, they calling this the Urban Progress Act of 2020. So H.R. 6318 would contain new universal background check requirement. Make it a crime if a firearm isn't reported lost or stolen within 48 hours. Enables long or even indefinite delays on firearm background checks. Bans gun ownership for convictions related to the possession, distribution, or intent to possess or distribute alcohol or any controlled substances. Offer federal grants and money to several government programs and projects. Several of the grants and mandates would likely to be used to produce rights-infringing propaganda and junk science. So you know where that's going, and that's just one of the bills that's being floated through Congress. Okay, so that's my leading story for the night, is that your Second Amendment rights are under assault in every which way and form in every state and in all parts of America, federal, state laws, all that stuff. So first and foremost, I just want to get to the mask thing. Quit driving around in the car with the mask on, with the windows up, and you're the only person in the car. You don't have to do that.
No, you don't.
What is the point of doing that? Okay?
I don't know. Unless it's airborne. Right. Coming through your air conditioning system.
I've got that off my chest, okay? So, now to the mask
and
itself.
Wash them every now and then.
Now to the mask itself. Dude, stop it. It's it. If it's gonna get you, dude, it got you by now. You know, if you have some type of comorbidity, diabetes, or some type of something that you're more susceptible to this thing, by all means, knock yourself out, wear a mask. But for the most part now, the social distancing and the washing the hands, you know, you should have been doing that already. You know, you shouldn't be all up on somebody at the counter. And I know, you know, the 6 feet is BS because they just came up with it from somewhere. I have a couple of videos below if you want to watch them. You know, I'll try to link to what I'm talking about. So take off the mask and we can get back to our normal lives a lot quicker. How's that?
Yeah, and it's a safe thing. I have masks. My wife sewed me one for every day, and I have them. I wore them today. I wear them when there's danger zones. I wear them when nobody has them on practically, but I work for myself, and I don't ride around with the mask on, you know, and I was just wondering how many places have been robbed with people have the mask on. I thought of that, and I'm not trying to be facetious or comical about it, but I mean, that used to be the old MO. But I mean, if we can ease it up, and like I say, the Governor Bell Edwards here is going to try to ease it up, and then he's going to extend it and all this stuff. But hey, I passed down the main thoroughfare here down in downtown Denham, right off I-12 range area, and look, I seen a restaurant full of so many people in it, sitting close together, hardly any masks, having margs and whatever, chips and dips and stuff like that. And I was just wondering, that looked like it was a pretty good time for all those people. I wonder how many people out of that restaurant are going to come out sick with the COVID. It's out there. The president just said today he's made millions of masks. They're making ventilators as we speak, gloves, this and that. They're going to test at least 10 million people here pretty soon. The high states that have it, and 75% of the deaths and about 70% of the cases are basically, you know, the ones that still have it in lockdown, still have it, you know, haven't let up, this, that, and the other. So I think as soon as we ease up and let up, people get more, you know, susceptible or, you know, not susceptible to it, I think we're going to be okay. I'm not aiming for all arresting people for breaking the law and this and that.
The mask thing is like another form of social, like, control over you. You know, it's like it's another form of you just doing something just because they said so. Yeah. You get what I'm trying to say? And, you know,
it was like when you're in school, don't chew gum in school.
I personally, I don't want to be masked. I don't want to be tested. I don't want to be, because what are you going to find out? Your test. Oh, you got it. Oh, what do you do? Oh, give me some medicine. Well, we don't really have anything for it.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? They're going to tell you to go home and stay in quarantine, and you're just, if your body can handle it, your body will handle it. So look, I don't want to be tracked and traced with these contact tracers. See, to me, this is the biggest deal out of all this. Right. They're enacting this contact tracing with an absolute vengeance on all sides, federal, state, local, whatever. They're going to hire these people, and people need jobs, supposedly now. Now, this might be a weird thing, but they're going to find people to do it. They're already trying to find, you know, those leftist funded groups like AmeriCorps and stuff like that. They're going to pull from those. Remember Obama, you know, had what did he create? I think he created AmeriCorps or something like that. Or AmeriCorps been out there for a long time, but it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just, they're just paid agitators at this point, you know?
Right.
So the contact tracing thing, to me, is the biggest issue of this whole pandemic, is if they put that into effect successfully, then it's just the nightmare scenario of this whole thing, because they'll always track you, unless for right now, if you use cash money and you leave your phone at home. You know, like, and here's the thing, and here's what contact tracing is that nobody really knows about, okay? So if you do test positive, no matter what, they'll make sure you are either pulled out your home, or if you want to stay in your home, that everybody else has to leave too. And then they'll have somebody, like, checking on you.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
that is no.
Yeah,
dude.
well, Bell Edwards
No.
said he was going to release 700 people out. Hire 700 people to find out
California
who's got these contact tracing things. He'll be tracing you if you've been at a crawfish boil, or if you went to church, or you were at a restaurant, and see who, where, and how you got it, and who you gave it to, and this and that and the other. I would like to see him maybe put 70 more policemen on the police force, and maybe we can stop some of this crime. That's
a good point, Joe.
Those deaths don't stop.
That's a good
Those
point.
deaths don't stop here in this area.
No, dude, that is a great point, Joe.
Yeah.
I can't believe you just actually you came up with that yourself.
Well, I do have a brain.
No, I'm not saying that. You didn't hear that nowhere. You came up with that yourself.
Man,
That's
I
pretty
made
good.
that up myself.
That's pretty good. I like that, dude.
Yeah.
Now, that's some. Then now, if I heard a politician say that, dude, I'd be like, that guy right there.
Right,
You know?
right, man. Figure it out. Figure it out. Do social distancing is fine. I don't when I'm at the checkout line at a convenience store before all this started, somebody's breathing on my back to get, hurry up and get to that beer that they got in their hand and put it in a bag and go out and guzzle it while they ride down the road. That's fine. But hey, man, back off a couple of feet.
Now, there's also the thing to where you're going to have your ID, and it's going to have that chip in there.
Of course.
That ID,
Of
the
course.
ID 2020 we've been talking about.
Of
this whole
course.
thing, they want you to have, and then you'll have to have all your immunization records up to date to get your ID.
But you won't have to have it to vote. So, what's the difference? You're diseased, you're a criminal, this and that. I think already, and you can count me out, and I've been hanging around you for 40-something years now, I think that they're already putting chips in these kids that are being born right now. The baby was just being born down there at the women's hospital. There's a chip somewhere in that baby.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this is how the forced vaccinations are going to go down. They don't come to your door with armed guards and force a needle on you. They will tell you, if you don't get your vaccines up to date, you don't get the state ID.
Right.
And the no ID means you can't have a job legally in the state of Louisiana without an ID. And then your kids can't go to school, without the certificates. And if you can't make it completely off the grid, then you'll be forced to submit as the grasp of the government's tightened. They don't have to force you. They just have to lock you out of their system.
Right.
To have you that you need to be dependent on. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
And
government infringement.
The only people I think could do that are at this point like retirees.
Right. Yeah, well, you said that the other
and young
day.
people, and so we're gonna have to have
Everybody's doing it.
We're gonna have to have a real awakening to the point to where everybody is just gonna have to really come to grips. Is like, okay, this was a man-made thing, and they did it to us to do all this craziness,
right?
And so, what are they really after? What are they really trying to do? And it's at the end of the day, it's just the poorer people. If you're gonna have everything, and the rich people, they already got everything.
And us
it's
in the
people
middle.
right in the middle, bro, that are gonna get screwed on this.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the. There it is again. It took them a little while to figure it out.
Right.
But they did it again, and they did it in a world fashion.
Yeah. Just to scare the yell out of all of us and then kill us all, too. Mainly it's a lot of older people.
No, yeah. And here the thing about that is, dude, the media has done a really good job hanging on to all this, hanging on to these numbers when the numbers for the last week have constantly go down, even in the hot spots, have constantly calmed down, even in the hot spots. Nurses are being sent home. People are getting back to normal. It's just up to some of the people in this state to be like, okay, let's do it here, let's do it there. But I don't think it should even be a state one-size-fits-all thing. Just in let me take Louisiana, for example.
Go ahead.
Baton Rouge is ready. As far as the numbers go. Baton Rouge is ready.
Yep.
New Orleans, I could see maybe another
a little more work.
Another week or two, because New Orleans is such a tourist destination. Now, I want to see it lifted. I think he should open it and keep New Orleans. I think he should open it for the state and keep New Orleans like 1 or 2 more weeks. And then that's it.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then we're done.
Yeah,
you know?
because it's going to peak again. It's just like anything else. It's going to come again, but it doesn't like heat. So the June 1st, I mean, down here in South Louisiana, it gets so hot. Down in South Texas, where been before, California is hot. Up in Sacramento area, Florida beaches, this, that, and the other. It's going to come again. It's not. We're not getting rid of the problem. Well, it is a disease.
Yeah, no, because they're going to release it again. Now, I was reading, and maybe I could post you a link. I was, ran into some information and saying that, yeah, there's some pretty decent evidence that this virus was actually released during the World Military Games when they had them in Wuhan, and they had them like in that area, and it's probably not China that did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's all. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay.
I could probably post something below, or at least show you where I saw it on the net. You can go check it out yourself.
Be vigilant. Use your common sense. Your social distancing is all good. Do what you got to do to protect yourself. But let's get back to normal if we can. I'd like to say about Congress is getting back. The House of Representatives didn't go back because the Speaker didn't tell them to come back. They're supposed to come back Friday. They're going to do a $1 trillion package. But in that $1 trillion package, they want to throw in that mail-in voting thing. They're going to try to put it. They've already tried it. I mean, they think they're trying it. Gavin Newsom in California, the idiot governor over there, said they're going to do it, and they already put it up there. But I think they're going to block it. So a mail-in voting, come on. We went over that before. Use your head. But let me tell you about them Dems real quick, and just their response to Trump. Couldn't do anything right if he was God, okay? And to me, he's done a lot for the pandemic. He's put in more effort every day out there, other than that other 8-year idiot they had in there before him that didn't think it was disease or nothing, didn't never commend or say anything good or bad about what was going on or what he wanted to do. But the Democratic response to the emergency, what they wanted to do was close all the churches and gun stores. Okay, they've tried to do that and is doing it. Keep murdering babies in the abortion clinics, which is the abortion clinics is off the charts. Okay, I mean, abortion numbers are off the charts. They're still where they were, millions being aborted daily. Release all the felons. I didn't understand that. Lock up citizens who are breaking this quarantine laws. Subsidize illegal aliens for what? What do illegal aliens need to be subsidized for in the middle of a pandemic? Ban potential life-saving drugs. Okay, fund the Kennedy Center. Make sure that gets funded. Buy PPE only from China. Okay, give themselves a raise. They did that. Block relief funds for small businesses. Thanks, Nan. Go on vacation, which they are already on, and investigate who again. Trump, not WHO, whatever the rip-off organization that is in cahoots with China. So there's the Democratic response to it. I think it leads up to the Democrats for 3 years. They've done this thing on Trump, going on 36 months now, or 42 months now already. We're already in May, half of the year. Election coming up at the end of the year. They did this to Trump. Now they did it with the Michael Flynn. For 3 years, the impeachment, the Russiagate, everything, all that stuff. Now Flynn just slandered, ruined his life and stuff like that. For what? People wake up. People wake up. That's the stupidest, the atrocious thing, and now it's coming down to Obama's lap and all his corrupt FBI guys. Their heads are going to roll. They've been saying it for months, this and that. Heads are going to roll. And look where it started. It started right up there at top, and you're not supposed to do that if you're the president. You're not supposed to knock the other president coming in and this and that. You're not supposed to do it. We got the Constitution book in the house. There's a little bitty book, Pocket Constitution. You need to go get it. I bought it at a department store here in Denham. You need to read it. It wasn't supposed to do that. Now it's coming out. Heads are going to roll. Maybe not the big heads, but it's going to be shown the embarrassment that that's what the Dems tried to do. I've always tried to tell you, vote responsible, vote American. Please, please, please. Another thing on the American agenda, or did you want to get to your parts of those things that you see of the great mimes of the 50th anniversary show?
You mean memes?
Memes. I call it mimes. Memes. By no means, get to the memes.
All right.
And I like that's what you said earlier. The kids couldn't go to school. to grow up to be cool?
Yeah, okay, so...
Neil Young.
All right, this is from the account WWG1WGA. All right, President Obama is being quoted on Flynn saying, "There's no precedent that anybody can find for someone who has been charged with perjury just getting off scot-free. It's a curious statement because, first and foremost, Flynn wasn't charged with a perjury."
No, he wasn't.
Okay, so second, we know Obama discussed charging Flynn under the Logan Act, which has never been used successfully to convict anyone and is flagrantly unconstitutional. Third, this reaffirms reports that Obama was personally invested in this effort. So finally, there is precedent. There's a specific rule allowing for this motion under Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 48A. There are specific Supreme Court cases like Rinaldi versus United States addressing the standard for such dismissals. The Justice Department has dismissed cases in the past, including the Stevens case that was requested by President Obama's own Attorney General Eric Holder for the same reason: misconduct by prosecutors. It was done before the same judge. Judge Sullivan in this case. So how's that for a precedent? Dude, Obama, they got him dead to rights.
Yeah.
They got him dead to rights on this whole Obamagate thing.
And the whole thing was they got him up there to get him to lie or, to admit to wrongdoing so he'd be fired or prosecuted. And then, he said, okay, well, he got into the interview. He knew he was going to be set up in the perjury trap. Who couldn't see that? And then he didn't admit any wrongdoing. He just admitted contacting and talking to Russian officials, which was legal. But he admitted to it and then he pleaded guilty. So, and then I mean, his life was turned upside down to almost $8 million worth of legal fees, having to sell his house, this and that, dragging his name through the mud, just like they did Kavanaugh. That's another thing. Thanks, Joe, for killing the Me Too movement. I mean, I am all in for the Me Too movement. Don't get me wrong, folks. But I mean, Joe Biden just put a fork in it.
Yeah, but at the same time, here we go with Trump and this contact tracing.
Right.
He's endorsing it. He's saying, basically saying it should be done, just leaving up to the admiral to sit there and keep harping on it. It's like, yeah, okay, it's coming, whether you like it or not. The only thing I could say is just leave your phone at the home and just use cash when you go out for right now. Because it's coming, because they can go and tell you that you have to stay home, quarantine for 14 days, and they could go and they could pull your family out.
Yeah.
If your family doesn't have it and you have it, you have to leave, or whatever. If you don't want to leave, your family has to leave.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just
stupid.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, Yeah,
that's just crazy.
It's the other government
for something they don't have a cure for. It's like,
right.
I listen. I understand that people need to be safe and you don't want outbreaks to happen, but I don't think we should. We didn't sign up for everybody to be traced like this. Now, here's the thing, though. They already have the system in place.
Yeah.
They could already be doing it, but now it's going to be like they're using this as like, we have to do this from now on. Because like I said, what is the old saying? When the government does something, they don't take it back. They can always do it.
No, they can always change the rules as they go along. Let me tell you what, there was the Hong Kong flu when I was 8th, 9th grade. That was around 68, 69. Then they had Woodstock in 69, 600,000 plus, and having nothing but fun and music, as Max Yasgur, the farm they had it on. And they had so many great stars on there. Man, I got the Woodstock movie. I know you guys seen it on one of the movie channels. But look, all those people came out of there. They had the Hong Kong flu. There was a vaccine, or this and that. 1 million people worldwide died. 1 million people worldwide died. It was a Hong Kong flu. It's done with, just like the flu they have this season coming up. God forbid that any of our listening audience or anybody gets it, whatever the case may be. But come on, man. It's time to open it up. We're going to bounce back. I tell you what, the guy up there, he may be as corrupt as all of them. I'm sure when I mention the Me Too movement, Trump is probably first on the list. But, I mean, bottom line is everything he seems to say turns out Right, because he's up there working each and every day on it. He's not on vacation. He don't even wear a mask. Okay, and then some people in the White House are already on the staff, already being quarantined for it. Sure, they are. They're out there working. They're amongst this, that, and the other, and they're doing what they're trying to do for America. Every time Trump says it's for America, it's not like that idiot 8 years ago, or the 8-year idiot they had in there didn't recognize terrorism, didn't recognize anything, and wanted to go down, wanted everything to go down, wouldn't wear a cross, wouldn't wear the flags even, of the American flag on his lapel. So give me a break, okay? If that's what you want again, go out there and do it. Mail it in if you got to, whatever, but think responsibly and do that. And get back to it, just what we said prior to getting on the show. Right when we have the pandemic is slowing down, then all of a sudden you have what? A race-based, fueled, what are they trying to say? The media is a killing of white guys killing a black guy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Well, dude, look, we at the Joe and Joe Show have decided we're going to wait till all the facts come out to talk about the actual case itself. But you can already start to see, like Joe said, now that the COVID-19 stuff is tapering off, the media needs something else to latch on to because, you don't want white people and black people angry at the government all at once.
That's it. I mean, people are coming out of it. People are saying this and that. Just to name a few, LeBron James says we are the hunted. Come on, LeBron. You live in a mansion. You live in a couple of mansions. You got white servants. Okay, who's hunting you down? You just play basketball. You're arrogant and this and that. Outspoken about something you don't know anything about. But that's what the race people, that's what they want you to do. That's what they want this division. The media just shows a part of the clip, what went down, but we're going to leave it all to them. It'd be somebody's going to go down. You don't have to take the law into your own hands. That's not right. That's never the answer. And we'll just see where the chips fall and see where it's at. But watch how much they build this back up in the alphabet news, things like that. Watch how much they build it up and make everybody think, oh, wow, now and blame it on Trump. And now it's white supremacists and this, that, and the other. Give me a break. Okay, we'll let it lie.
Yeah, on your screen now, we're going to go through some memes real quick.
The memes of the mimes.
Yeah. Candace Owens says, facts, blacks kill 2 times as many whites as whites kill black annually.
Right.
And Candace Owens is black, so she's saying, we commit 85% of all violent crimes, 50% of all murders, over 90% of blacks killed by homicide are killed by other blacks. But let's keep lying to both ourselves and the public and keep blaming racism.
Yeah, and that's why the Democrats won. You said it before on the show, to keep you uneducated, down there, bottom feeders. Oh, another killing. We're gonna go protest. Oh no, it's Trump's fault. Oh, he's a white supremacist. KKK.
All right, ahead. So we're gonna rat-a-tat through some of these.
Go ahead.
The silver lining to the whole COVID-19 thing. It's now easier to identify like-minded people. All others will be wearing masks.
There you go. That make dig it.
All right. Confucius say, he who wear mask alone in car also wear condom alone in bed.
Wow.
Here's a Joe Biden meme that I sent to my mom for Happy Mother's Day. He's saying Happy Father's Day.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Joe.
All right, hold on.
Super Thursday. What he said, we're on an economic intercourse.
Let me go through some of these.
The other day.
Here's a good one. Superhero Everson. Okay, it boggles my mind how Bernie Sanders supporters defend and quote the media, the same media that cheated them twice. They had front row seats to how the mainstream media manipulate and lie, and they fall back in line like nothing ever happened. We're living in a zombie apocalypse right now, and that was just the other day.
Wow. And Australian News the other day, sorry, I know you're on the meme thing there, but Australian News was laughing and said that the biggest and the best country in the whole world has got Joe Biden as one of their presidential candidates. The 2 news people were laughing. Like, they're laughing at us.
All right, Old Glory put, if we all started wearing masks with Trump 2020 on them, how long before experts decided we don't need them anymore?
Yeah.
Okay, here's one on the voting. This is pretty good.
Okay.
Saving the Republic. Don't confuse absentee voting with mail-in voting. Absentees request ballots and enter into a proven chain of custody. Mail-in voting sends unsolicited ballots to every name on state registered lists. There's no chain of custody.
Wow.
So here's a one I just picked up because I hashtag Council on Foreign Relations, and it says, what if I told you nothing in this world operates as you think it does? Your government no longer serves you, it serves banks. That's true.
Yep.
They that no longer loan money, and he's talking about the banks, but create debt from thin air, which is enforced by police who no longer work for you, but whom you're taught to obey in school, which is no longer an institution of learning, but an indoctrination center designed to make you passively accept a culture which is no longer created by individuals, but by the very system that is dependent on your obedience. That's it. So, here's another one. This one was pretty good. Toby Rogers, PhD, MPP. This does. He's talking about, I guess, the virus. This does not end with untested vaccines, microchips, and show me your antibody test checkpoints. This ends with a Nuremberg tribunal where pharma executives are prosecuted for crimes against humanity.
There you go.
Boy, wouldn't that be something.
There you go. Just like, getting all the way up to the top of the past administration for the 8-year debacle of the worst president ever, if you ask me. I tried. When it first came out years ago, I tried to like the man, and then when he just said it was terrorists and they were killing us over there and stuff like that. And where are the terrorist killings now? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's all media COVID-19 stuff. It's just like you've got to think it's still going on somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
Look,
all the world. But hold up, one more,
yeah.
And then we'll get okay. So this one's from Lux Protogat. I said Protogat or whatever. I bet you didn't know Dr. Fauci sat on Microsoft's board of directors and that Bill Gates was his boss. Now, did you? Yeah, and that's true. I had seen that. I had heard that. I knew Fauci was connected to Gates. Microsoft board or not. But, if anybody else didn't know that, then that's information that you might want to check out. Like I said, link below. I put a lot of Corbett report stuff on there.
That's it, people.
But, I'm gonna put some more stuff, and I'll put as much as I can because if anything, just do yourself a favor. Don't just take it from us. Go check some of these things out.
We didn't make it up.
We didn't make it up. It's like this is things that you got to start educating yourself about and find out who's really doing the stuff, and you got to call people and just don't just vote. Put it that way. Like something. You got to do something at this point more than
stand up
just
and be responsible. Right. Educate yourselves a little bit.
You got to be doing something more than just going to the polls every couple of years. That don't make any sense anymore. You got to do something more.
Look, man, we see the picture. We've been there. We know what's going on. We're humble enough to be our beginnings and where we're at now. We're right here in the middle class of the situation, from the poor to the rich. But, we're just trying to educate you a little bit more. We're having fun doing it until we get censored or we don't. But listen, I got another one from January 1 of this year up until April. Let me tell you the worldwide deaths. I don't think I did it, and I had it last time. So far, COVID, as of April 1, which is already almost a month and a half ago, was 47,000 deaths. Seasonal flu, 120,000 plus. Malaria, 240. Traffic fatalities, 340,000 deaths worldwide. HIV, 420,000. Alcohol, poison, and smoking, almost 2 million deaths together. Cancer, right at 2 million. Hunger, nearly 3 million people died from starvation and hunger worldwide in the first 4 months of this year. Abortion, 10 million, 0.6. Okay? So I know this is a pandemic out there. I've tried to tell you again, we're not knocking it. I'm scared to death of it too at my age and stuff like that. I seen an old buddy the other day with a new kidney, 20 years ago, new kidney, and he's still standing 6-7 feet away from me, and I'm trying to hand him some cash. So, for a job well done. But it is what it is. I'd like to shout outs real quick to Kane Taylor. Shout out to Haley and Mila in the marathon run for Mother's Day. Great job. And
Chopper flying over the house right now.
Right. They've been looking at us. What is that? Is that a BlackBerry or no?
Nah, it's just that's like a civilian chopper. Ain't no military.
Okay, all right. I thought they were spying on us, but anyway.
Nah.
Long story short, they already know we're on here.
You might could see it.
Yeah, I saw it. But
I was going to say that they might could see it.
Oh, they might could see it. But anyway, shout out to that jarhead.
Yeah, we'll probably be able to see it in the thing.
Shout out to that jarhead over there, Heath Mendoza, Corporal Heath Mendoza, other side of the world. I like to say a silent.
Just if anybody out there that knows me, I'm a big helicopter freak. Helicopters just like when I see helicopters.
That's what I thought it was a BlackBerry, but it's not a BlackBerry. It's a Black Hawk.
But I stopped doing a BlackBerry. I stopped doing whatever I'm doing and just marvel at the helicopter, dude. And a couple of times in my life, I've been around the medevac helicopter, and man, that's something when they drop that helicopter right there and pick up who they pick up and then raise up, dude. I love seeing that. I've only seen it a couple of times in my life, like up close and personal, because the helicopter look all small up there. When it lands, it's big.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. But listen, I'd like to give some silent condolences, or not silent, but condolences to a death in the family. 98-year-old Cecil Bell expired this morning early without any problems. Went away peacefully.
My condolences to the family. Hopefully everything's in line. I mean, he lived a good life. He was a World War II vet.
He survived by his wife.
Yeah, I talked to him one time, and he had, they liberated one of the camps and stuff like that. And
what war?
He said World War II.
Okay.
Yeah, they liberated one of the camps and stuff. I forget which one. I don't want to say the right one, but he was in an infantry division that liberated a camp, and he said, man, once they let those soldiers, the Russians, they were soldiers from other armies at this place.
Yeah.
Once they let them soldiers go, bro, they chased down all them Nazis and killed them. He said, man, they were chasing down. He said right in front of me, seen two I guess either Polish or Russian soldiers chase down a Nazi, one of the guards, and they basically decapitated him with a shovel.
Wow, and that's war. That's war. Again, like I say, condolences to the family of Mr. Cecil Bell, 98 years old. Passed away today, May 11, 2020. I don't have anything else. I know we're running out of time. We might be out of time. We're going to do a little editing on this, but it's great to come to you. It's the 50th show in the books, and like I say, we don't know all the answers. We try to follow up. We don't just stay on conservative news all the time. We hear the whole thing. I read the media. I read the newspaper. I look at a couple of alphabet stations in the morning. Generally try to formulate my own opinion. I always have. We love y'all. Godspeed to all those who are suffering. Godspeed to those who are well. Maybe your social distances is a common sense thing. Use it to the best of your ability. Think of others.
Yeah, my thing is, before we probably want to do another show, but here's another one of the memes that I really agree with. You're being conditioned to think that people who stand up for their freedoms are selfish, extreme, irresponsible, hateful, irrational, and lawless. You know what, bro? It's time. Take off the mask and start disobeying. Because
that's right.
There's, this thing is largely over in our area, and the longer. The sooner you stop obeying all this stuff, the social distancing and the mask and stuff like that, then it's all going to go away, because they know they ain't got control over most of the population anymore. Everybody needs to just go back to their lives the way it was without worrying about anything, and just do it.
Fear is a big thing.
If we get sick again, oh well, because what really can they do for you at this point? They can't do anything.
Not yet.
They can't do anything.
They're working on it.
And so you're sacrificing your life, your livelihood and your health and stuff like that. So, for something that they could just keep going indefinitely. Let's see what happens in a week. And if the restriction is lifted, great. But if not, I would like to see the reason why, because the numbers are going to show that we got this thing beat for the large part. We got it. People need to go back to their lives and quit worrying about all this stuff. You're constantly worrying now. You know, it's like
fear.
You're constantly worrying. Fear
the
is
battle
just
too, man.
It's just everything. Quit worrying about it and just do it. You know, mask up. Okay, if it bothers you, mask up, glove up, stay away from people, do the whole social distance thing, and go back. Do your normal thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people need to quit believing everything that they tell them just because they tell them.
Right.
You know, they can make you believe anything at this point. It's time to just disobey all the stuff that you really don't have to obey. You know, like.
Right.
That's my only thing before next week. Hopefully the restrictions lifted and we can really get back to doing stuff that we used to. But I just, you know, I hope you don't pull that one size fits all thing. Well, if I can't just do it for the whole state and not New Orleans, because if that's the case, he's probably going to keep it another 2 weeks. Now we got an issue. Now we have real issues
if
here.
it carries over into June, we're in a lot of trouble because they may even start schools in June and July. Listen, Greg, Mike, Jason, keep up the good work, giving me ideas about the show. Like shout out to Eddie. I'll see you in a couple of weeks down there in Woodhigh, Texas.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
And like shout out to Richard, my grandson, down there in Texas. Godspeed to you. We love you. Peace. Horns down.